Hello and welcome to the DFS underscore PhD show for today, the 27th of April. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us again on Prediction Strike. Got a little bit more information about the platform from Foreign Star, a couple other guys, Jamario. Basically, yeah, obviously, because this market trades on fantasy expectation, the easiest way to see how it works is with UFC guys. So if you want to pick up a UFC guy before the slate today, you go on over to our UFC channel, see who All Star DFS is picking there, and yeah, you could score big if they win today, right? Like that pops their price. Everybody now knows who they are and stuff. They get another date, maybe a bigger. I still have the soccer on. Sorry about that. But yeah, so use promo code PhD for the best deposit bonus there. And yeah, I'll pull this up and see how these guys they've used performed tomorrow, because that's when we'll be able to see. So we've got some suspect things going on this slate. I think we've got some fun rules. So even though I didn't get this out until like an hour before the slate, hopefully you're still around to see these rules, because it's a weird slate. And a lot of these important decisions are the very first game. So first of all, Orlando's rotations have been weird. They won in a blowout yesterday, right? Like after losing every game in a blowout, they won this game in a blowout. So we got to be really careful with projections, because they ran such a tight rotation in that first half, and it was a very interesting rotation. First of all, they did go 10 deep. Okay, Ingles did get in. But don't they lost like 7 minutes in the blowout, right? So you can't project from last game. If you're coming and giving Wendell Carter Jr. 25 minutes, you're wrong. He was on pace for a lot of minutes. This is 850, so almost 9 plus 7, 16. You should be giving Wendell Carter Jr. 32 minutes. What is SaberSim giving him? 25. You need to add minutes to Wendell Carter Jr. So he was massive chalk and high stakes last time. That was right. And it's right again. And I mean, it's wild that Orlando is favored. I don't know if that's necessarily right. But I mean, I think he's clearly one of the optimal plays on the slate, and people aren't picking up on it. I've added a rule of him or Isaac or Mo. Those are the guys I think are like in a fork together. One of them gets the extra 6 minutes extended and smashes. I mean, all of those guys are decent point per minute guys. Wendell Carter Jr. had a bad point per minute game last game. Don't let that get distracted from the minutes. They were there. Do I think Orlando's going to drain a zillion threes every single game? No. I'm familiar with their game. They're going to go back inside eventually. I mean, one of their main guys aren't good threes shooters. Banchero and Wagner. They're going to go back to that mid range game. Middle. It's kind of mid. That's why I'm fine with that description. But okay, so we've got Max 1 Orlando point guard. This isn't really relevant anymore. I'm not boosting any of those point guards because their role, all three are going to play. Fultz, Anthony, and Suggs. If you think you have a read, that's fine. I'm just going to be like 30% Suggs. And I don't know, maybe a little Anthony. It is too expensive. The backups are too expensive for their role. You can't get to the backups. So a little bit of Suggs. He's great. He's incredible, and he's holding down that. It didn't seem like he had an advantage over the other two Head and Shoulders during the season, but he does now. That's way too much Garland. Garland's fine, but he's just been really struggling, and he's got to hit shit. Not at that price. What's his price? 5K? 6K. That's a fine price for Garland, and people are scared off because he's really been garbage. But like, he doesn't have to be garbage. He could be fine. So I'm going to be 2x the field on Garland, but I'm not going to be core Garland. Same thing with Herb. Like, I don't know why people are off Herb. That's weird. I haven't even boosted him or anything. I probably should. Let's go over to New Orleans Pelicans without doing too much, so that still give you guys time to actually watch this video. And we got what's his name is still out, Zion. And we'll make it full games only. And so, yeah, Brandon Ingram, lots and lots of points. But Herbert Jones, not that many points. Okay, lots of minutes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, okay, yeah, Herbert Jones, lots of minutes, not that many points. All right. So, totally fine to leave him where he is. That's like 30 if he got 36 minutes. We're giving him the 36 minutes. We're not quite giving him the 30. You got to get a little bit more Herb. It's fine, but he's still just a core play. Like, he doesn't have to hit shots, but he kind of has to get stocks or whatever to be valuable. So, I'll make him like a solid play, but not like a core play. Who pops to the top now? Torian Prince. Yeah, he's out there. I mean, I'm not going to play more than 10% Torian Prince, though. Who else is popping up? So, yeah, what are the rules? Max 2 OKC stars. I probably got to boost the OKC stars now that I'm in. Yes, this is all too low. Okay, so if number one, Chet's going to get more than 33 minutes, right? I mean, Chet stats. Yeah. Stat FS. Chet stats, 32 minutes at least. Okay. Okay. I'm a little bit surprised that he's getting so few minutes. I don't think that has to be the case, so I could give him a few more. Regardless, I think one of these guys is going to smash a little bit more than they're currently projected for, so you got to give that scenario where, and I mean, you got it. So like what? Shea, 15%, he mashes. I really don't think he's that optimal of value. Maybe 25, 30% maybe. He's okay. Chet, he's got to hit shots. Jalen Williams is good. Is good. Like what's his price? 6? 7. I mean, you just that both minutes and usage are going to be higher for him in the playoffs, so I'm fine with him being close to core-ish. He should be, yeah. So I had this rule running. I just didn't have any of it. I forgot to do the boost alongside the rules. So that's why we've gone back here. Same thing with the shooting guards. Who is this? This is Joe and Wiggins. Yeah. I do think one of them probably hits shots. I don't think I want to be massively, well, okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. What happened in that last game? If either one of them got significant, oh, it's a blowout. So we're not going to be able, what happened in the first half of the last game? From a Joe and Wiggins standpoint, Joe got 5 and 6. So he was on pace for 22 minutes. That's pretty solid. Yeah, and they're only giving him 15. That's a mistake. Okay. So this rule is important, and you got to give Joe like 7 more minutes. It's like 18 points. So he's definitely, in my opinion, an in-play shooting guard, along with, what's the other guy? Aaron Wiggins. Did he get in the game? Aaron Wiggins, not in play. He only got 6 minutes, so he was on pace for 12 minutes. So Aaron Wiggins properly projected, not in play, but Isaiah Joe is in play. If he hits shots, he could definitely be, I'll say 10% though, because I got more than 20 lineups now. But yeah, I think you can definitely and should definitely be getting to a smidge of these shooters on the side. How many minutes is this giving Dort? 33 minutes and no fan. I mean, I guess with all the guys around, that seems like really few points for Dort. Got to go over here. Is that appropriate season-long usage for Dort? I know he's not. I know that he's probably lower than the average case because somebody's always been missing. But even with all of the guys here, yeah, let's just do the naive case. Dort should be getting 27 points in 30-something minutes. He's in 33 minutes. He's at 19. I mean, I know it's the playoffs and all, but like this is disrespectful to Dort. He's in play. He's not good. I mean, like I'm not excited about clicking Dort, but that's, I mean, for real disrespectful. I don't get that at all. I mean, where's our Case and Wallace levels? He was out there too, a fair amount. And they're condensing this rotation a little bit. So in the first half, Case and Wallace was out there the last 7.5 plus 3. So 10.5 minutes, 22 minutes, that's not enough. Yeah, 20, well, that's more than we were giving him. All right. 22, so that's 4 more. So let's give him 2 more points at least, 13.5. And then he's like, I don't want to be like 10% field ownership seems a bit fishy even, but yeah, he's there. It's fine. Okay. All right, so I've taken care of the Oklahoma City guys, and I'm now remembering that I am still doing the show. So I will, let's see. Core plays, Wendell Carter Jr., Brandon Ingram, Jamal Murray, Jalen Williams. These guys are all massively underpriced and for their role. Then you have guys who are like just been bad or are going to score the most points, Jokic and Garland. And then just a range of guys whose usage is up for the playoffs / because various people are out. I still have the Nance, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have the JV Nance fork as well. Yep, a little bit of JV here, more Nance as always. I will die on this hill. It's they're losing every game during the regular season. When they play more Nance, they won the games. If they wanted to win the games, they could go, "Ooh, look at these numbers. These numbers say win game this way," and do it. But no, nobody is looking at the numbers for this team. It's mind-boggling and it's frustrating. All right, Gary Harris up at 20% now with the field 5%. I'm fine just being, yeah, you know what? Gary Harris got reasonable number of minutes. Let's look at this. Gary Harris, yeah, a ton of minutes here. You got 9 minutes plus 3.5, so 12 and a half. He's on pace for 24.5 minutes. So he didn't get them, but like, they're going to give Gary Harris, they gave him like a bunch in game one too. His minutes are better than they were in the regular season. And I don't think, wait, I said 24.5, right? Got it for 30 here. Let's double check that. Gary Harris was 9 plus 12.5. Yeah. So 24.5. That's 6 minutes less. So that's significant. He's a fine play, I still think, but I mean, I gotta acknowledge that's a little bit that's worse than I was expecting. The minutes are not correct on SaberSim here. You always gotta double check whenever you're like going through an argument with yourself that all parts of the argument are working out. Okay. Jovic, still a good play. You saw what could happen for his upside. They didn't need him in the last game. They may need him in the series. He was confirmed a starter, I think. Let me just double check. Everybody's giving out weird early strategies. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, we finally got the. So I waited to make the video until we got the correct ownerships all night long. It was saying like Kevin Love 60% up until like an hour half to game time. And I'm like, I can't make a video talking about Kevin Love. I know he's not going to be owned on this slate. So anyway, now with the appropriate, yeah, let's do it. So what's the field doing? Am I fading any of it? Yeah, McCollum's fine. He just has to hit shots. So I've limited him to hit shots range. But what's his price? Is he 6K for real? 7K, yeah. I think hit shots range is appropriate for him there. Maybe on this slate you can relax it a little to like 30% for him and for Trey. Yeah, I'll at least cover the field. I don't want to be under the field on Trey Murphy or McCollum. They're both good shooters and have increased opportunity in this offense. I do have a rule. Let's see. No, I did not activate that rule. I sometimes have thought about doing a 2 out of 3 with these new big three, but they could go off together if New Orleans, just like with the Magic, they all kind of went off together when they smashed. So I kind of think that upside case is fine on a 3-game slate. Don't over constrain yourself. Just only straight swap guys who are definitely taking time from each other on this kind of slate. Okay, so having undone those caps, then my highest leverage plays: Carter, Ingram, Jamal Murray, Jalen Williams. Love all these. Najee, did he get the minutes? Let me just confirm. In the last game, Najee Marshall, first half, 2 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 5.5 minutes, then another 4-minute stint. So 10. So he was on pace for 20 before the blowout. Not really that many points. What were we giving him 20 or were we giving him slightly more minutes than that? Giving him 20. Okay. I'm on board with Najee, but I don't really want it to be one of my absolute highest leverage plays, so I'm going to dump him to 2x. 3x is a bit much for my level of confidence. Anybody else that we want to kind of slightly raise? Nance is a stand. I'm still firm on it. They're still wrong for not doing what I say. Other places I'm going to be high are places where people are sore, but we're right. Like Jonathan Isaac still has huge upside. They could still go with him instead of Wendell Carter Jr. And like even in whatever 18 minutes you saw, he scored like 30 fantasy points sometimes. If he hits shots and gets confident, Jonathan Isaac win you GPP any day, especially on a 3-gamer like this. Isaiah Joe was another place people just didn't have the right. That might have been on screen, but you got to have more Isaiah Joe than they're allowing. I think I could go more than 10. I can go to 15%. That's a field wrong error for sure. And another one where I think people are overreacting to one game / blowout run minutes. Anytime you can kind of understand why the field's getting somewhere and it's wrong, that's where you want to go. Hey, I'm going to take all of the heat here. Yep, and I'm fine with being under on Rui, under on Paolo. Got to hit all mid-range shots to get there. That's a long road. Rui, just like no opportunity in that offense. Tatum is in a game that could blow out. And either way, like the other team's game planning the whole game to stop him. Plus, at the top, I just think we have other options, guys who have an easier road to get there. Higher total game guys. That's where I want a lot of my exposure. Guys with just no other offensive possibilities. And Shea, Jamal, another high scoring. I'm putting most of my guys in this last game, right? I mean, is that basically it? Yeah, a lot of people in this last scoring game was at 8, 10, about 2 people from that game on average. That's about par for the slate. So I'm not as overweight as I thought. But that's about all I got to say. So remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us.